Hi, y'all. This is Charity from Frog Crochet. I know it's been a while. I don't know when the last time I did a live. I know it's been at least 2 or 3 weeks, maybe more. But let me do our devotion. The title of it is The Yes Step. Commit your activities to the Lord, and your plans will be established. Proverbs 16:3. The Lord had about or pursued me about a leadership role in women's ministry for over a year. Naturally, I spent several months explaining to him that he was looking at the wrong person. I'm 40. That's too young, I told the Lord. When the nudge came again, I told him my circumstances. Lord, I don't know enough of the women yet. Lastly, I landed on the chaos and confusion I felt. I know you aren't the author of confusion, Lord, but until I feel peace, it is a no. I want to be ready to step into what he was calling me to do, but I was afraid. My disobedient heart trembled at the enormous step of faith. What was I doing saying no to God? What if saying yes to this job meant I would be overwhelmed with stress? What if I accepted the job and didn't feel peace about it? Worse, what if I said yes and he did not provide clarity for me in how to carry out the role he was calling me to? As I or As I journaled my fears, God prompted me with scripture. Commit your activities to the Lord and your plans will be established. Proverbs 16:3. God was inviting me to walk with him in the way he would establish. Then he gently asked again, at which point I named each of my activities to him. Motherhood, marriage, writing, and sand sand poured from open hands, the names of men and women from the Bible flowed into my mind. Each name comforted and encouraged me, empowering me to add my yes to. What is God calling you to say yes today? Yes to today. Our prayer is, Lord, with my yes, I yield my activities and my future to you. And for a deeper walk, read Hebrews chapter 11. All right. Hi, y'all. Welcome. And let's see. Let me pull up my.
Our lovely friend is in the chat.
All right. Let me pull up my phone so I can see the chat. Because I cannot read that print over there.
I can just read the chat for you, you know.
It's all right.
So I'm over here.
Oh, and that's Miss Kitty talking.
Hello. I should have already left to go take a shower, but I'm here.
Hi, Jen. Welcome in. And Moonlit Traveler, is that your friend, Miss Kitty?
Yes.
Hi, Moonlit Traveler. Let me see if I can fix this so you could be a moderator for me. Let's see. Add as a moderator. Okay, he'll be a standard. All right, Moonlit Traveler, if you would type something real quick, it should come up as you being blue next.
Yeah, like how my name is blue in the chat.
You should have a blue wrench after you type something.
Yep, they worked.
Cool. Alright, now you can help me out. Like, if somebody that's not welcome in here.
You are now able to put people in timeout.
Yes, timeout. If they say something they ain't supposed to, or
use this power responsibly.
Yes, please.
So I had to put you in timeout before.
Alright, I have a few FOs, finished objects, for those that don't know what that means. And the first one is a bod Bag-O-Day crochet pattern. Now, I did not follow her pattern to the T. I changed it a little bit. But it's still the same stitch pattern. Other than the top, I did use half double crochet instead of double crochet, but the layers and ruffle part, I did use double crochet.
I went ahead and dropped the link for you.
Okay, yeah, Miss Kitty dropped the link for the dress. It's actually a toddler dress that I did. Well, Bod's is a toddler dress. I think it was at 0 to 3 months or something like that. Or 0 to 6 months.
Yes, I'm in the
I didn't do that size because I adjusted it for a doll. And here is the dress. And I layered it. This is Caron Simply Soft Gold Ombre. And I could not tell you what this copper color is. I got that from actually Marketplace. And this was down in the bag. That was some of the yarn that was in there. But I just thought, for fall, we got our fall festival coming up. And I was going to put it on this little dress, this little doll here. Now, she needs to be cleaned up yet. And she's got clothes, but I find these little dolls at Goodwill. And sometimes they need a little loving care of cleaning up or whatever. And this lovely little doll came with her toes painted and her fingernails painted. And then she's got paint on the bottom of her foot as well, but she's got some stuff on her head too. But this is the little doll that the dress is going to go on. Oh, I think we got somebody else in here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, Maritza. Hi, Maritza. Welcome in. Why are you out of bed? Why are you out of bed?
I have a problem. The mouse is upstairs in my room somewhere.
Go to bed.
Because all of a sudden I started hearing
It's probably now go to bed. Sorry. Little man is supposed to be in bed.
Ramen in the microwave.
Get it.
I
But anyway, what I thought I would do.
Moonlit Traveler, I'm leaving you to being a moderator while I go get my food. I left my ramen in the microwave.
I'm gonna try to get the fingernail polish off because it looks like a little kid tried to paint the toenails down here in a yellow, and then it got painted over with red. And that one doesn't look so neat. The others look a lot neater. But if I can't get them off, oh well. But I get these little dolls at Goodwill for like $2.99. And I'll clean them up. Sometimes I throw them in the washer and stuff. But these clothes will come off and this little dress will go on. And I will have been giving them to little girls at church. And I've got one family, I've already got theirs set up for them. Other than one little girl had got one for her birthday. This one here will be for our fall festival. I have not given you her name yet, but her name is Esther. And what I was going to do was going to have her sitting up and let the little girls try to figure out what her name is. And if they get her name, then they will get to take Esther home. And anyway, for one of the little girls, I'm working on, this is my whip that I'm working on right now. She got one during the summertime, and her sisters will be getting a doll for Christmas. So I thought, well, I'll just make an extra doll dress for her. And I'm using the Lil Sprout pattern. And this is actually how it's supposed to go. It's just one layer. All right, I've got my hook in there. My yarn's not wanting to let go. But I will be trimming this in white. And this is all Red Heart yarn holiday. And it was something I had gotten off of, believe it or not, Marketplace. I had found somebody selling 3 trash bags full. It was either 30-gallon or 39-gallon trash bags full of yarn for $75, and I talked her down to $50 for all 3. But these were in there. Red Heart Holiday. And this one is the white.
I have returned.
It just says the color the color is white with silver. That's all it says on there. Other than it is the Red Heart Holiday. Now these two didn't have labels on them as I had previously used them, and apparently took the labels off, or they may have already been partially used already. But because they were already used, I just thought, well, it'd be good to use this for a doll dress since I already had just partials. But I'm going to finish up this green and then go to the red. And then I'm going to use the white at the bottom and then do white around the collar. And then it will be these here. Let me pull this maybe. But this is sparkly like this. Now these are got gold, I think, or is it silver? It might be silver with them. Yeah, it looks more like silver. Yeah, so it's green and silver, red and silver. You can see the sparklies in it. And then the white will have the, I don't know if you can see, not in this lighting, maybe. There we go. See a little bit of the sparkle in there. But the sleeves will be like this here. A little bit of sleeve. And then where I've got the copper on here, it'll be white on this one. So this one will be trimmed in white. But because this is for the fall festival, I thought I'd use fall colors. And then using the same pattern, like I said, I layered it's so funny how, look, the exact same pattern, and I layered it. It looks different. But it's the exact same pattern. And then the other FO that I have is the Fiber Enthusiast, her Wishin on Dandelions. I finished her shawl. And this thing is huge. It's so big. I mean, but I like it because it's so big. Actually, when I wear it, These ain't actually armholes, but I use them as armholes. They work. So I can have my hands free to do other things. But that's my other one. And if Miss Kitty would put in the chat the link for that one.
Oh, the
Wishin on Dandelions.
Sure. There, copy that one real quick. Sorry.
That's all right.
I got behind. There you go.
Yeah, that one was for me, Jen. So that's why I did the blue. I can't remember. They're all the ombre. And there's 3 different ones. There's this one here, and this one was like all denims kind of colors. And then I did that one again, and this one was a totally different one down here. But I thought it worked out because it kind of, to me, combined the colors of this one plus this together down here at the bottom. Because the bottom part of it kind of looks like a denim color of like this right here. But I just thought it went really good together. So actually, can't, other than this one here, you really can't tell that it's 3 different ones. I just went through my yarn stash and got different ones that I thought would go together. Now, for her tutorial, she used the black and white and gray colors of the ombre mandala, and I have one of those, but I like the blues and the teal colors better. I love blues. Blue's my favorite color. And I just, because this was for me. I don't hardly ever make things for me. It's very rare that I do make any projects for me. Most of the time when I do projects, I usually make them for somebody else. So I just love doing it. I love doing and now this one, it didn't take me as long to do this one as some of the others that I have done. But I just like this pattern, and I was like, oh, I got the yarn for it. Just perfect. So, anyway. But that's pretty much what I've been working on. Aside from working, because I actually have a job now, part-time, working at the church, cleaning. Oh, I almost forgot. Because I'm working now. And we also, the kids had a dentist appointment. I kind of treated myself when we went to the town that we go to for the kids' dentist appointment. I only get to go maybe at least once every 6 months, unless Miss Setta's in town. And then we like to either meet up at Michael's or we meet up in Joann's. A lot of times it's usually Joann's. We have met over at Michael's a few times because I was there. Anyway, I only get to go at least, when the kids have a dentist appointment, which is every 6 months. So I don't get to go very often. But I'm trying not to buy any yarn because we really ain't had the funds to do it. So, but Michael's had their yarn 30% off. And I have 2 projects that I'm going to be, I'm trying to get some stuff made up for all the kids that go to to our church. I'm trying not to leave out the older kids as well, but we have a family that has 2 boys that are really close to little man's age. One's a little bit younger than him. The other one's a little bit older than him. And then they have a daughter that is pretty much about the same age as Miss Kitty. And then they got a teenage boy that I probably won't be making anything for him because I really don't think he would care 2 cents for it. So I just told Miss Kitty, I think what I'll do is just get, because there's another teenager boy there, is might just get them a couple big candy bars, like a big Hershey bar. Get 2 of those for him for Christmas. But anyway, the little girl that Miss Kitty, she used to go to school with her. And there's another little girl in, she's maybe about, well, she's not really, they're less than 2 years apart.
I'm older.
Yeah, Miss Kitty's older. Miss Kitty will be 15 in December, and this young girl turned 13 this year. So, I don't know. I don't. They might wear beanies. I'm not sure if they would or not. One of the boys is really kind of picky about his hair. He's got kind of long hair, and I don't know if he would wear a beanie or not.
I highly doubt it.
The other one probably would. He probably wouldn't care. He's a football player. He don't care. I guess if it kept him warm, he wouldn't care. But Miss Kitty had come up with the idea of fingerless gloves for the teenage girls, because one of the girls was talking about that they were trying to use their phone or type on the Chromebook or something. Anyway, the gloves weren't working for her too well to be able to use whatever device she was wanting to use. And so she was like, well, I asked her, so would she like, I asked her, yeah, so would she like fingerless gloves? And she's like, oh, yeah, she probably would like that. So she helped me pick out some yarn for her friend, and you type in the color. I don't know how to pronounce this. It's a multicolor. F.R.O.G. F.R.O.G. I don't know. It's loops and threads, but it's got
You're severely struggling.
like a silver, and then there's purples and pinks, and this lighting is so not showing the colors.
Right. I put the name of the color in the chat. Ready?
Yeah, Miss Kitty put the color in, but it's like the Simply Soft yarn, but it's the Michaels brand of loops and threads. But it's got like a dark purple, and then it's got a light pink, and it kind of goes from like a dark purple and fades to the pink, and then it's got silver in it. I was gonna do, I didn't know if I needed 1 or 2 of these. I was gonna do some fingerless gloves, and then the other girl, we didn't know what to get her, so I went with this. It's like off-white, and it's got, oh shoot, there. You can see a little bit of that string in there, shiny. It's more of a kind of a coppery color, and it just says sparkling. is the color. It's an off-white with like a gold or copper color sparkle through it. And the colorway is sparkling. And it's the loops and threads, soft and shiny. I got 2 of those because I didn't know how much yarn I would need. And then I got this for me. Now those were 30% off. And I had a coupon for 20% off. And I got me this. And it was regular price $24.95, and I got 20% off. So it was $19.96 for this. So I might be doing me a blanket next year with these because they're all supposed to be about the same size in there. There's all kinds of different ones. And also in the beginning of it, it has like your chart of all the different ones. Supposed to be 100 of them in here. They got some animal ones. They got a lion, an elephant, zebra, a hippo, and a giraffe. And then they also got some fruit ones. There's an apple. There's like a whole apple. Then there's a cut apple. There's a lemon, an orange, a nectarine. There's a heart. And then there's a kisses square. And then all kinds of different flowers. There's even one in here with a rainbow. All kinds of different ones. And then if you didn't know how to do stitches, it kind of goes over how to read this and how to read a chart. It talks a bit about your materials, your yarn, your hooks, how to read the skill levels. Even has some of your basic stitches in here, how to do them. How to do decreases, magic rings, special stitches, cluster stitches. It's got all kinds of stuff in here. And there's the color chart. And this page has all your stitch charts for doing the those kind of patterns to read this. But I kind of know how to do some of these, but it doesn't hurt to look back and refresh it. But it starts out with pretty easy ones. Let's see, the very first one, it says beginner skill level. So they start you out at beginner. And then they end you on one. Whew, I was looking at the last one in here. And I told Miss Kitty, I said, I don't know about this one. I said, that one looks pretty complicated. And the farther you go in, it gives you multiple little charts just for this one alone. That's just one square. It gives you multiple charts for it. And that ain't the other one. It's just the deeper you go into it, it gets to advanced. What was the last one that I saw? Oh, extra advanced. Now that one's just advanced. But check out that one. And that interesting. But that one's classified as an extra advanced. Oh, we got somebody else in. I'm sorry, I didn't see you. I'm here talking. Aisha. Hi, Aisha. How are you? But I thought that was a pretty good deal. $25 book for $19.96. Got 20% off. And y'all might be seeing these this year, or well, next year. I still gotta get little man's blanket done yet, and I started. If some of y'all haven't seen, I did change Miss Kitty's blanket. This was what, first year that I did my channel. I started a blanket for little man, and I started a blanket for Miss Kitty. And this was Miss Kitty's. Of course, I've already took part of it apart, as it had blue and green up here and shapes of diamonds, and then we started changing hers up. But I started frogging hers, and she picked out a mandala, whatever you want to call it, pattern. And I started this for her using the yarn off of that blanket. Every bit of this came off of that blanket. I had frogged it. And this is what I've done so far, frogging that blanket. Oh, almost forgot. I got another FO I forgot about. I did this. I did this for the fall festival as well. And I used the facets yarn. It's 3 different stitch patterns. That I used. And then I trimmed it like that. Now this stitch tutorial, I believe I found it online. There's a free pattern, and this is how you trim it. Or I think I did. I might have found it on YouTube. Wow, my phone's way behind. Alright, try to get my phone caught up here. Let's see if I can find my patterns. Stitched. I'll try to find the stitch pattern, or it was stitch tutorials that I used. Now this one may have been a scarf one that I used. Started out with. Trying to find it. Try to put it on here. If I can remember which one I used. If I see it, I'll know. I've got a lot of stuff saved for to do later. It's not in that one. maybe in this one. Oh, come on, phone. I am not seeing it. Maybe it's under this one. Okay, here's one of the stitch tutorials I used. Copy. Okay, let me put this one in the chat. Okay, that's one of the stitch tutorials I used. Now in that one, it does 3 double crochets, 3 chain, 3 double crochet. I just did 2. 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, chain 2, but it still did the same effect. Now this one here, nope, this one I didn't have a tutorial for, but I know how to do it. It's just a crisscross right here. It's just your basic crisscross stitch. And on the edges, I just did a double crochet and then your crisscross with a double crochet. So I didn't use a tutorial pattern for this one here. That one there was the one I just shared with you, this stitch tutorial. Let me see if I can find the other one. I think I used a scarf pattern for it. Hair in my mouth. I'm not sure. No, I don't see it. Oops. I closed down the wrong thing. There we go. All right, basically what I did in this section here was you made your chain. Hold on. Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2. I did 24. Actually 25 because I went across because of your turning chain. So counting your turning chain, 25 chains. And then in the second one from the hook, you did a single crochet. The next chain, you did a double crochet. And then you just repeat that across. Single, then a double, a single, a double, a single, double. And then when you turn, you'll end up putting a, do a chain. And then you put a single in the top of a double. And then you put a double in top, in your single crochet. So when you go back and forth, you do that. You'll end up putting a single on top of a double crochet, and then you'll put a double crochet on top of your single crochet. And I went for did 8 rows of this. Then I did 2 rows of singles across to divide it. Then I did this. Well, actually, this is the wrong side. That's the other end. That's how I started it. This is the beginning end. So that's your single and double alternating. And then I did the crisscross. And see how I divided each row with just 2 rows of singles. And then I did my crisscrosses. And with that, I just did a 1 double and then crisscrossed all the way across, and then your last stitch would be a double crochet. I use an alternative double crochet, or you can start with the 3 chain down here at this end. And then this is that other stitch that I used. In that pattern, it'll show you to use 3 double crochet, chain 2, which is underneath here. But I kind of liked the feathery look. But I didn't know what to name this. I couldn't figure out whether I was going to name it Fall, Hugs, and Kisses. I'm sorry, I'm looking for the back and what's the front. Okay. That's the front. I didn't know whether to name it Fall, Hugs, and Kisses or Autumn, Hugs, and Kisses scarf. So, I've got like 3 or 4 things of saved videos that I want to do. And some of them I have done. Some of them I haven't done yet. But I think you guys can actually see on my thing of like on my playlist. I don't know if you can or not. I think I've made my playlist public, but I don't know if you can access it or not. But you might be able to see all the videos that I have saved. There's several categories. There's for later, watch later.
Watch later is
I keep
private.
I keep saving a bunch of videos, and a lot of them are probably, I'd say the biggest majority of them are bod patterns. There might be some other patterns in there that's not bod, but I know there for a while that's who I was doing a lot of her videos and doing a lot of her patterns. Miss Kitty actually has a dress that I made her for her 10th birthday, and she can still wear it. That's how big it was. And I used one of Bod's toddler patterns for her. And now Miss Kitty knew I was making it because she kept trying it on for me as we went with it so that I could get the right length for her. So what I was doing was I'd have her put it on to see if I had the top part long enough for the sleeves. And then once I got the sleeves done, she kept having to try it on to see if I got the torso long enough before I started the skirt part. And then I made the skirt part really long. And so she still, you can still wear it, can't you?
Mm.
You can still wear it, can't you?
Oh, that dress?
Yeah,
I can.
So I made it pretty good size. I think it was down to your feet when she was 10. Now, it's not quite as long now for her, because she will be 15 in December. So she's had it for almost 5 years. Because I made it for her 10th birthday. And I used a bod pattern for it. So, but anyway, this will be a giveaway for the fall festival as well for the adults. But basically what I did on the end was single crochet, first stitch, single crochet in the second stitch, did a picot and slip stitch to that second single crochet, did another single crochet in the next, did a picot, just every other one was a picot, and then just single stitched all the way down the side of it. And it's still kind of wavy look to it because this section kind of pulled in when I did that, but it's not as bad after I added the single stitch all the way down the border. The skirt that grows with you. Yeah. Actually, I think some of it has. I used Simply Soft yarn on it, and I think it has stretched some, but I don't know if it has, because when we wash it in the washing machine, but we lay it out to dry. I don't stick it in the dryer because it'll peel up. Or lint from other items will be, collecting on it. So we just, when we wash her dress, we lay it out to dry. I don't hang it up either. Now, it may have gotten hung up maybe once or twice, still wet, and it may have stretched it some, but I think it's still, I don't know. I don't know if it is stretched any or not, but I think I made it a little bit big whenever she was 10, so I think it's more of that she grew into it. Because I said it was down to her feet when she first had it. And now it's not as far down. She's went this way, and unlike little man, he has chunked out and she has stretched out. And she's almost as tall as me. I am 5'1", and I wouldn't be surprised if she is 5 foot already.
Oh no, I know I am.
Oh, you are.
That. Last time we went to the doctors, and my height was measured, I was 5'1.5" inch.
Oh, okay.
You really don't remember that? I've told you that several times.
shoes on.
Yeah.
So about half an inch off of you with your shoes, you'd be exactly 5 foot. Because when they measured me in high school, I didn't have my shoes on. They made me take my shoes off. I'd been taller if they had measured me with my shoes on. So I would say you're probably right at 5 foot without your shoes.
I'm too tired to math right now.
Yeah, I know. I told her, I said, Jen, I said, if you don't quit growing, I'm going to put bricks on your shoulders. She said, that ain't going to work.
Probably one, managed to get them off somehow, and two, you probably wouldn't be able to get them on in the first place because I could just run away as you tried.
Well, she tells me that won't work anyway, even if I was to manage to get them on her. Which she's right. But her daddy is taller than me, but not by much, but he is taller than I am. So she's probably going to be tall. And when she was born, she was either, I think you were 20. She was either 20 or 21 inches long. And little man was 19, I think, or 20 inches. He was shorter, about an inch shorter than her when they were born. I'm going to get my phone. I'm quit squinting here. I keep worrying. I can't read it. That bread's too tiny. This is too, but
at least it's closer.
They get lippy as they get older too. LOL, no bricks don't work. Yeah. Actually, she's not as lippy as little man is. Little man sass. Ooh, little man will sassy me in a heartbeat. She just gets quiet when she gets mad at me. Now, she occasionally will sass back, but not very often.
Most of the time, I just seal my mouth and try to use head movements.
She's like me. When she gets mad, she gets quiet and don't want anybody to mess with her and don't want to talk to anybody when she gets mad. But
I'm trying to avoid saying something I'm gonna regret later.
Well, that's why I get quiet too. But little man and my husband are so much alike when they get mad. They want to confront it and get it out and done with right then and there. And me and her both, we just clam up and want to be quiet and just leave me alone. Let me do my thing. And then we'll talk. Let me calm down first. And then we can talk. And I also, now she don't do what I do though. A lot of times I go into ultra cleaning mode when I get really mad. And she knows whenever I do that, to leave mommy alone. Is I will like go into like extreme cleaning, like spring cleaning type cleaning when I get mad like that. So she leaves me alone when I get in that mood. The other two in the house, they don't leave me alone, and they haven't learned that yet. But everybody kept telling me, "Oh, the girls are sassy, and they'll be, be the worst ones to be sassy and stuff." Yeah, I wish. Little man's the worst one about sassing back. He keeps, why do I get in so much trouble all the time? And well, if you would learn to quit talking back to me every time that I'm correcting you, then you wouldn't get in trouble so much. What do you mean? That exactly right there. You keep having to have the last word. You can't just quit talking to me. You keep digging your hole deeper. Although, poor thing, we had a little incident with him. He almost got kicked off the bus. Little stinker got in a fight with a little girl on the bus. But apparently they did determine that this little girl started it. Anyway, what was it? What day was it? Was it?
For what? I wasn't paying attention.
When did he come? It was like Tuesday, wasn't it? Because he had to go back to school.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. This last Monday and Tuesday, he had what they called fall break. And I think it was just for the teachers to get the report cards done or something like that. Instead of calling it teacher work days, they called it fall break. And Thursday, I had noticed he had on his left arm, he had a huge bruise. And how I noticed it is he got in and he kind of moved around and he bumped his arm on something and he goes, ow, that hurt. And he pulled his sleeve up and he had a huge big old round purple mark on his arm. And I said, what in the world did you do? Well, I don't know. I said, well, how did that happen? I don't know. I said, did you fall down and hit your arm or something? Did you run up against something? Did you bump something hard enough? Well, maybe it happened on the bus. Well, maybe. Do you know? Like, did you hit something hard enough on the bus? I don't know. I said, well, you had recess today, right? Yeah. Did you hit something at recess hard enough? I don't think so. I said, well, did you have PE today? Yeah. I said, did you hit something at PE hard enough? Yeah, I actually did fall down and run into something, but I don't know if it was hard enough to do this. I said, well, when did you notice that it hurt? Well, just now when I hit it. I was like, okay. So he kept giving me like the runaround. And anyway, because of the shape of it, and I had said something to my husband about it, that he had quite the bruise on his arm. And he looked at it and he's like, son, are you like letting some girl suck on your arm or something? Like, I don't know. And this was like, yeah, you would know if a little kid did something like that. If somebody was sucking on your arm. And he's like, well, I don't know how it happened. but Tuesday, he come down because he had to go back to school Wednesday. He come down from taking a shower, and I mean, he was just crying. And when me and Miss Kitty just kind of looked at each other, and we looked at him. We're like, he's like, Mom, I know you tell us not to lie to you and stuff like that, and I wanted to tell you the real reason, but I'm scared. He said, I'm scared to tell you the real reason. I said, a real reason for what? And he's like, this bruise on my arm. He says, I don't want to tell you because I don't want to get hurt more. Because I was told if I told that he said, she said that if I told anybody that she would hurt me more. I'm like, I said, little man, what in the world? I said, if somebody is bullying you and hitting you or whatever and causing you harm, you need to tell us what is going on. And he said, well, but I don't want to get in trouble. I said, honey, you're not going to get in trouble. This other person's going to get in trouble, but she's going to hurt me more. I said, if we take care of the situation and you let somebody know and they can keep an eye on her, then she won't be able to hurt you. I said, and he finally told me, he says, one of the little girls that's older than him. I said, so a fifth grader, because he's in fourth grade. Well, yeah, I guess. I said, well, you're fourth grade and she's older, so fifth grade, because elementary here only goes from pre-K to fifth grade. Then sixth grade, seventh grade, and eighth grade is considered middle school. And they ride a bus. They ride with the high schoolers. But anyway, he's like, yeah, I guess. And I said, so what happened? I said, did she hit you with her fist or did she hit you with something? He said, no, she bit me. She bit down on his arm so hard that he instantly put a bruise on his arm. And he was crying the whole time. He's like, I'm scared because I told you now. I'm scared that she's going to get mad and she's going to hurt me. And I said, well, let me talk to your daddy and see what we need to do. And so I talked to him, and he told me that another little boy on the bus she's been mean to as well. And that this child has bit this other little boy. And so I noticed, I told him, I said, I'll talk to your daddy when he gets off work, because at that time he was still at work. Or no, see, yeah, he was on his way, I think, or something. I don't know. Anyway, he was just all up in tears. And he kept, I'm scared. I said, you don't need to be scared, honey. We will take care of this. And I talked to my husband about it, but I also, because he said this other little boy was getting bullied as well, I looked through my phone on Messenger, and I am friends with this little boy's mom, and I seen that she was online at that time, and so I messaged her, and I said, look, I said, this, my son just informed me that, this little girl's been bullying him, and I said, he said that this bruise was from this little girl that she bit him. And he said that she has bit your son. Have you noticed any bruises on him? And she messaged me back saying she's not noticed any bruises, but she, so I was like, okay. And I said, well, I told her, I said, my son had mentioned that this little girl had bitten her son, and she went and got her son and asked him. And she messaged me back and said, yeah, he said that she has bitten him, but she didn't notice any bruises. So I don't know when this child had bitten this boy, but apparently she's not only just bitten these two boys, she hits them too. As little man said that she's been hitting him as well. But this is the first time that she's actually done physical harm to him, as far as leaving bruises, as she bit him. So anyway, I told her that we would probably, more than likely, on Wednesday morning, since they had the 2 days off, they were going to be back Wednesday. And when the bus driver got there, because this incident happened on the bus on Thursday afternoon after school on the ride home. So I talked to the bus driver, and he apologized to me, and I said, look, he said, I'm so sorry, I didn't know about it. And he looked over at little man, and he says, now look, he says, if anything like this ever happens again, you talk to Mr. Charlie. You let him know that something like that's going on. Don't let it happen, keep happening. As soon as something like that happens, you come and tell Mr. Charlie that something's going on. He says, I don't want y'all getting hurt. And so he said, okay. And but he did inform me that he was going to keep this young lady away from my son, that she was not going to be allowed to sit with him anymore. And so anyway, but he's like, well, what about at recess? Cause she gets to play with recess with me too, and stuff like that. And she, even though the bus driver keeps her away from me, she could still get me at recess, because she sometimes chases me down at recess time. And so I said, well, then I guess I'll need to call the school and talk to somebody up there, more than likely try to get a hold of the principal. So, anyway, I called, left a message. The principal was busy that morning. And, but anyway, the information did get to the principal, and everything. And she had the nurse check out little man's arm and everything. And the nurse called me, and she's like, I am so sorry. And I told her a little bit more, because little man didn't say anything. He really likes this nurse, but he didn't tell her all the details. So I told her more of it and let her know that this child had hurt another kid on the bus, and that he's scared that she's going to hurt him at recess as well. But they have ensured that they have done what they can to take care of the situation. They said they couldn't go into detail as to what they did, because they can't discuss another child with me of what they've done. But they are taking action of trying to keep her at least away from him, and hopefully other kids aren't going to get hurt. And I see that we've got some more popped in. Let's see. Hey, Zach, how are you? Welcome in. And my phone is lagging. And we have Nana Michelle. Hi, Nana Michelle. Welcome in. Well, yeah, he might be known as a tattletale, but I really don't want him getting hurt at school either. And don't want him, because, she really put a bruise on him. Who's to say what else she's going to do? Yeah. Yeah, iced coffee. Well, I don't know about iced coffee, Zach. Coffee does sound good, though. You can have coffee in the morning, Miss Kitty. Anyway, but so far from what he's been telling me, You may want it now, Miss Kitty, but you can't. It's too late. It's already almost. It's almost 11 o'clock. Whew. And you ain't had a shower yet. Well, when he gets on in the morning, when we talk to the bus driver, little man is actually the first kid on the bus. So there wasn't any kids on the bus yet. So it was just him and the bus driver and me. When we talked to the bus driver. So the other kids on the bus don't know that we talked to the bus driver. What you working on, Nana Michelle? What?
I have a cookie.
Oh, you got a cookie? Well, okay.
We can't have coffee, I get cookie.
Yeah, that's why we did it first thing in the morning, Jen. Telling and talking to the bus driver. Instead of waiting till the afternoon, because the afternoon that little girl's on the bus still. He gets off. I don't know. It's weird how the bus route runs. He comes and picks up little man first. Then he gets the other little boy that little girl's mean to. And then he goes and gets her and some other kids. But for some reason, he does it opposite whenever he takes them home. I don't know. It's crazy. When I was on the bus, whoever was the first one on in the morning was the last one that got on off in the afternoon. Let's see what she says. Nana Michelle says, I'm working on a baby blanket tonight. A feathers and fan pattern from Bag O Day. Cool. I'm working on a Bag O Day pattern too. I'm doing Lil Sprout dress. And I did that same pattern, a little different, and I finished it in this. This is a little doll dress. This is, I made it smaller because it's for a baby doll. What's she saying? Okay. Those are so pretty. Yeah, I didn't. That's some interesting typing there. Now, this one, I did do a little bit different for the collar, too. She left hers open in the back to where you can put buttons on it. But I just did a complete circle for this one. Just slide it over. This one I did in the back. I am doing the split to maybe do at least one button on it. But this one is going to be my, that'll be, I've done a dress for a little girl that I did a doll for her in the summer in her favorite colors. Her favorite color was periwinkle, and I mixed it with what was it? I did periwinkle and jasmine, which was like a really light, almost like a real light lavender color, but they called it jasmine. I did the 2 different colors. I didn't get a picture of it and I didn't show it on here because I got it done. Like, her birthday was that Thursday during the week of Vacation Bible School at church, and I got it done early Sunday morning. So I didn't get a chance to do any video on it or take pictures because I wanted to give it to her that Sunday. They weren't there at church, but I gave it to her grandmother. And then I ended up with a handwritten thank you card in the mail. This little girl's mom is our mail carrier. I got tickled with my husband with that one. As he brought home the mail. Usually I get it, but I don't know why I didn't check the mail that day, but he did. And he come home and he's like, who in the world is Sally? And I had named the little doll Sally for that little girl. And on the front of it, it said, thank you for Sally. And when he said that, I was, oh, I know who that is. And he's like, who's Sally? I said, that's the baby doll that I made the dress for that little girl for her birthday. He go, oh, he said, I didn't know who Sally was. Maybe somebody put this in the wrong mailbox. But he said it had your name on it. So he said, I really could not figure out who Sally was. So I got tickled with him. But I have made other dolls. I will show you guys because I haven't given them to those little girls yet because they haven't had a birthday yet. I guess their birthday was earlier in the year. And anyway, I'm going to give these to these little girls for Christmas at church. The oldest one is like she just turned 9 in the summertime. This is yours. No, that one is not yours. This one is yours. Headbands came off. Hold on. All right. The girl in the middle age, her favorite color is green. Now, I'm sorry if some of you have seen these, but some of you have not. This is Sonora. Now, this is a variegated. It's got browns and like a peach color and then green in it and white. It is not coming through very well. Here we go. Maybe. There you go. And then a matching headband. This is Sonora. This is for one of the girls. Now, that Christmas dress is going to be for Sally. And if I've got time, I might make a blanket to match with it. Where did Anne go? Oh, Anne fell off on the floor. All right. And this is Anne. This is for the youngest of the girls. And her favorite color is rainbow. So this is Anne. Now this one is my own pattern. I didn't follow anybody's pattern. I just did my own pattern. This one here is my own pattern as well. I didn't follow anybody's pattern. I did my own. Now the flowers I did. The headbands I did myself. And then the flowers, I did find a tutorial for those. And these two are matching flowers. And then I did this. These I didn't. Because of all these ruffles, I didn't put a flower on the dress. I just put the little flowers here. And this is Sonora, and that's Anne. And then Miss Sally will get a Christmas dress. and maybe a baby blanket if I have time. And then they have a brother, and I don't know how old this little boy is, but I know that he likes tigers and he likes superheroes. And this used to be Miss Kitty's tiger. So we found him. She didn't want him anymore. So I said, "Ooh, I got the perfect person for this." And he likes superheroes. So I made a cape for him. And this is Captain Stripes. Miss Kitty named him for me because I could not figure out how or what to name this. So this is Captain Stripes.
Stripes.
That's what I said, Stripes.
I heard strikes.
No, Stripes.
Okay.
And we have another little girl that's probably about little man's age. And I asked her what her favorite color was. And Jen, you will like this. She likes blue. And then I got to thinking, she's a little bit older. So I was like, one Sunday, I was like, what? I said, do you like baby dolls or do you like stuffed animals better? And she looked at me weird. I said, just for future reference, because I didn't want to give it away what I was doing. And so I did, she kind of grinned and she looked at her mom and she said, and her and her mom both at the same time, both said stuffed animals. So I said, okay. So I did a teddy bear for her, and this is Diana. And look at that blue, Jen. Look at all that blue. And I believe, yep, it is. It's this. It's this one right here. The one on the bottom. It's the same colors as on this. Same yarn. And I trimmed it white. And then I put the sparkly white down here around the bottom. But this is Diana. And this is my pattern as well. Let's see what y'all are talking about. I seen LOL. I'll catch up on chat here. Hands on the wrong keys. I look at those sparkles is what I should have said. That dress. You two quit that potato stuff.
I got bored, okay?
Zach says, I can feel. What?
Hmm?
I don't know, Zach. Yeah, they say
we've been putting several things in the chat that could help them.
Yeah, they say not to use Q-tips. I use them all the time because mine never build up. It's just they run. And I can feel it running all the time. Some people use, what are the bobby pins they use for your bun, to put the buns up in their hair. You know, those metal.
My
bobby
gym teacher
pins.
was going over like health things. He
Mhm.
said another good way to get rid of earwax is like after you get done taking a shower, like you can get like to tilt your head to the side, not too much though, and like get water to go in your ear. so it kind of softens it. And then when you get out, you take the towel that you're using and try and wipe it out as best as you can without pushing it back in there.
Yeah, Jen, that potato thing, that's Moonlit Traveler is a friend of Miss Kitty's, and yes, they like to see. He likes to say taco. I'm a taco or I'm a potato, and so it's a little inside joke between them two.
Sometimes we just say straight up just potato when we're bored and just go back and forth with it because we're bored. But it's an inside joke, yes.
Yeah, Jen says doctor appointment. Zach
You're
said,
very behind on the chat.
Zach said,
Very, very behind.
Zach says, no, thank you, Jen. I'm trying to avoid her.
Yeah, I don't like doctor's appointments either.
Yeah, they say the Q-tips will push the earwax back further. Oh, peroxide. Yeah. My mother-in-law, when her ear hurts, she just puts alcohol down her ears. I actually, little man's been fussing about his ears hurting and stuff too. He can't hear. Sometimes he'll, huh, what, huh. So I got some eardrops to put down in there. I think they have helped. You can try that. There should be some kind of I don't know exactly what you guys have at the stores or stuff, but here we have the pharmacy area. We can get I can't remember what it was called, but it just said something for earwax removal. I guess it thins out the earwax in your ears, but it was like 10 drops for adults, 5 to 10 drops, and you got to let it sit there for a few minutes, and then you can sit up, but you have to keep your head tilted for quite a while. Yeah, alcohol evaporates faster than peroxide does. But she does it. Sometimes she gets my mother-in-law has that inner ear problem, and she'll use alcohol in there to kind of she thinks that she's get water in there, and it kind of makes her she gets dizzy and stuff sometimes, and sometimes she just has to just take a day and just chill out when she gets like that.
Mm-hmm.
Your grandma.
Oh. I zoned out again.
She calls it, I don't know, she calls it inner ear stuff. She gets nauseous and dizzy, and if she stands up, so she just ends up when she gets like that, she'll just stay in bed most of the day.
I will be right back.
But oh wow, we've been on here for almost an hour and a half.
Before you turn it off, I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. She calls it inner ear problems, but that's what I was trying to think of, Jen. It was vertigo. I think that's what she's got. Because it makes her sick and she just like gets up and she'll be dizzy and she gets nauseous. But I think it's vertigo, but she calls it inner ear stuff. Oh, you want to bring her in. Guess who we got? We got Miss Vanders.
She grumpy right now.
You were a bad kitty today. You snuck outside. Yeah. Yeah, you were a bad kitty. You want to say hi to everybody? Say hi. You gonna say hi? You gonna say hi, Miss Banners? You gonna say hi to everybody? No? You wanna say hi to everybody? Yeah. This is Miss Banny. This is Bandit. And you see why we call her Miss Bandit. She looks like she's got a mask on.
She steals potato chips.
And she used to try to sneak in the house, and now she's a house cat, aren't you? And now you try to sneak outside.
She still steals potato chips.
Yeah.
I can't ever eat potato chips in peace when she's around.
We don't need you going outside. We got you flea free. Finally. And it's getting worse. It's going to get cold soon outside. This is our fur baby.
She doesn't look too happy.
Her tail's slicking.
She's just staring.
Yeah, we're having to we're having to remodel our bathroom. And this one found a way through the floor and snuck outside.
I had to go out and chase her down.
She didn't like it. We had to make her come back in. And somehow I ended up with 3 fleas on her going outside. Just going outside for a few minutes. Ended up with 3 fleas.
I got them off, though.
Yeah, Miss Kitty brushed her or combed her. Got them off. Yeah, our shower was leaking, caused the floor to rot. So we're having to tear out. My husband's already tore out the shower. He's tore out the walls. He's working on the flooring now. He's took out the bathroom sink and the toilet downstairs. We have a bathroom and shower upstairs that we use now. It's a very small shower in a very small bathroom. But
you got a small sink.
So anyway, when my husband tore out the shower, there's a pretty good sized hole in the floor. Took that carpet up and the floor just through because the floor was so rotted. So yes, naughty kitty. Yes, very naughty. She snuck out. My husband left the door open and she went in there and found the hole in the floor and got underneath the house.
She wants down.
I know she wants down.
Here, let me take her.
You getting mad at me, huh? Are you getting mad at me?
Oh.
All right, here you go.
Oh, we're doing this now, are we?
You became a jungle gym for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's our pretty fur baby. She was very rambunctious earlier. She wanted to play. So, but...
Yeah, I was just in here watching YouTube.
we really don't want her out at night right now because the other night my husband came home. Was it Wednesday? Yeah, it was Wednesday night. He came home and he parked out front and he heard weird noise out here. He thought it was like a dog or something, and then all of a sudden he heard a bunch of yipping everywhere else around him. It was a whole pack of coyotes out here. And so we're trying not to let her out at night. My husband said maybe when it's colder and the bugs outside go away, and then maybe we can let her back outside. Okay, Jen. Thanks for coming in. Jen says, I'm going for tonight. It's late. Yeah, I need to get going too. I got to get up early tomorrow. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here. Thank y'all for coming in. And thank you, Moonlit Traveler, for helping me out, and Miss Kitty with the moderator, being a moderator. But I'm going to go ahead and hop off as I've got to go stir some stuff in the crock pot for tomorrow. And
I'm supposed to go to bed like an hour and 36 minutes ago.
And Miss Kitty's got to get a shower yet. So, and we got church tomorrow. So I guess we will, hopefully it won't be as long before I get on here again. Oh, the Crochet Queen. Oh no. Yeah, I'm sorry, Crochet Queen. I gotta go. It's late. We've already been on here for over an hour and a half. So, and we gotta get up early in the morning to tend to some stuff at 6 o'clock in the morning. So, anyway, maybe you can catch the replay. So, but I'm gonna get off of here and I'll say good night to y'all. I hope y'all have a wonderful and blessed rest of the weekend, and hopefully it won't be as long this time. I gotta get my routine back down pat here with this new job and everything. So squeezing in some crocheting in the middle there too. So and housework. So I will see y'all later. You have a wonderful evening and the rest of the weekend. And hopefully it won't be as long next time. Bye, y'all. Have